Joining us now, Nancy Northup, President and CEO of the Center for Reproductive Rights. A year since the fall of Roe this Saturday. Take a big step back for me and tell me where you think we are today in the fight for reproductive rights.
Well, let me just start with today,
please,
which is the First Lady sitting around the table with 4 women who've had pregnancy crises, had to have abortions, but were denied because Florida and Texas and Louisiana. And we didn't see this before the reversal of Roe versus Wade, that you would have at the highest level this kind of conversation, the kind of personal conversations that families have been having around the kitchen table for a long time, to see it at the White House. So one way to answer where we are today is that the nation's now talking. Another thing to say is it's tragic because these 4 women represent thousands who are going through a crisis right now because they can't make their own health care decisions.
For years, reproductive rights advocates have said abortion is health care. And in some ways, the fall of Roe and what has followed after, all of these stories being shared, it has made that point tenfold.
That's absolutely true. The fact that you can have a pregnancy complication and not be able to get access to what is the standard of care, which is terminating the pregnancy. And we are seeing it. We have filed, the Center for Reproductive Rights, a lawsuit against the state of Texas on behalf of both Elizabeth and 12 other women. And they represent the tip of the iceberg about what's happening right now.
Talk to me about that lawsuit, because it's one we have been following. Where does it stand? Where do you expect it to go?
Well, we just added more plaintiffs. That's people who are suing, because when we filed the lawsuit in March, after that, dozens of women were calling and saying, I'm in these circumstances, too. So we've now asked for a preliminary injunction. We're going to ask the court to make a ruling saying that women in these circumstances, pregnant people in these circumstances, need to be able to get access to abortion care. The hospitals, the doctors, they need clarity. They don't know what to do because they're facing 99 years in prison.
A lot of people, when we talk about this, we look for wins, and defensive wins end up getting marked as wins because things could have gone in a different direction. It is striking to me that you are using the courts as a means of attempting as best you can in this environment to expand reproductive rights. A lot of people will say it's all about the next election. Look at the next election. Tell me about the role you think the courts are poised to play should cases like this continue to be brought.
Well, one thing people have to remember is you've got 2 sets of rights protections at the federal level with the United States Constitution and at the state level with state constitutions. So big win this year in South Carolina, the highest court in South Carolina saying the state constitution protects the right to abortion. You know, voters in Michigan putting the right to abortion in their state constitution. And in these cases like the one that we brought in Texas, we're looking to state law to say, let's be sure that people can get the care that they need in these emergency obstetric situations.
We're still, of course, waiting for the ruling on mifepristone. I visited an abortion clinic in Brooklyn where they are stockpiling misoprostol in case they are not able to use the 2-step gold standard protocol. How is your organization preparing for the possibility of that ruling?
Well, for one thing, we filed a lawsuit as well, trying to get the court to say, no, the FDA decision was right, and let's keep it where it is. We're also working to make sure, the Texas case, which is now in front of the Court of Appeals, probably heading to the Supreme Court. And it's so important that a whole range of voices be heard by the courts, including major pharmaceutical companies. I mean, this doesn't just threaten the approval of the abortion medications. It also affects the approval process for all medications. That's what happens when we try to upset the rule of law, the way that has been totally unleashed after Roe versus Wade was reversed.
One of the things I am most struck by when we have these conversations or these graphics we pull up of the places where abortion is now so limited that people have to travel out of state. The passage of North Carolina's 12-week ban. It means in a few short weeks, another state in the South will further restrict abortion access. You have South Carolina lawmakers passing a 6-week abortion ban. I mean, that has an impact for the women who live in those states, but it also has an impact for all of the states where those women will be traveling to in order to access care.
That's absolutely true. And providers have done a wonderful job in states where abortion care is legal to make sure that they can absorb the patients that are coming in. And you had clinics that have moved to other states. But nevertheless, think about the burden on the people having to travel across multiple state lines. And everyone needs to remember, like the women who met with the First Lady today, you might be in a pregnancy crisis and you can't travel. So it is now dangerous to be pregnant in any of the states that ban abortion, because if you have a crisis in your pregnancy, you don't know whether you will be able to get the standard of care, which could mean having to terminate the pregnancy and being told to go home and wait until you have sepsis, which has happened over and over again. So everyone in those states who's pregnant is vulnerable.
I have about a minute left, but I do want to ask you, given that we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the fall of Roe, it was such a motivating issue in these past midterms. I mean, it truly came to define these midterms. A year out, do you think that that intensity has increased? Do you worry at all about it diminishing?
Oh, I think it has been sustained and it will be sustained. We obviously saw it in the midterms, but, you know, people are experiencing it every day, right? For themselves, for the people they love, for their friends. So this isn't something that is going to go away. And, you know, they kept saying, the pundits before the midterms, oh, everyone's moved on. Absolutely not. People care deeply about this issue. The public is with us, and we're going to continue to see that.